everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're making Lammefrikadeller, or lamb meatballs. We're heading into spring, and that does mean that a lot of people cook with lamb around this time of year. This is a very tasty way of making lamb if you are new to it. Meatballs are somewhat of a favorite of ours, if you can't tell by the multiple recipes we have on our website. These are a perfect savory spring recipe. Let's get started. For this recipe, you're going to need 450 to 680 grams of ground lamb. That's about a pound to a pound and a half. It will be meatier if you use more lamb. The only thing I would really change if you're using less lamb is you may not need all of your milk. So just add it a little bit at a time. You're also gonna need 1 small onion, 40 grams of panko breadcrumbs. You can also use other breadcrumbs if that's what you have. 1 large egg. I have a handful of parsley that will probably be around 3 tablespoons of finely chopped parsley. 120 milliliters of milk, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of oregano, and salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna start by finely dicing our onion, chopping up our parsley, and then we're gonna combine everything in a mixing bowl. I'm trying to get this diced as finely as possible so there aren't any large chunks of onion in the meatball. I also take off the stems of the parsley, but you can leave them on if you would like. You can also use less parsley than this. I just really like parsley. I also chopped this up pretty fine so that there aren't any big leaves in it. Now we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients except for the milk. I'm just gonna start by mixing this together pretty roughly, just to get some of the lamb broken down. And now we're gonna start adding the milk. I'm just gonna go with maybe 2/3 of it to start with. And then everything should start to come together. And you can add the rest of the milk as needed. All right, everything has come together and it's holding together nicely. So this is pretty much ready to go. It is important at this point to try a little bit, obviously not raw. So we like to add a tiny bit into a ramekin, microwave it, taste it, and then add a little more salt if necessary. Okay, I have a little piece of the cooked meat. This is good on salt for me, but if you try it and it's lacking a little bit, make sure to add it in now. For these meatballs, I'm actually going to pre-roll them just so that it's a little bit easier when we're frying them off in the pan. We're aiming for 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter, which is around 2.5 to 3.5 centimeters. You can obviously make these larger if you like. All right, let's get rolling. They're all rolled, so now we're gonna head to the stove to cook these. If you've seen any of our other meatball recipes, you probably know that I like to cook these in a cast iron pan. You can use nonstick, stainless steel, whatever you'd like. I'm gonna turn this on medium-high heat and just let the pan preheat. Now that the pan is nice and preheated, I'm gonna add some vegetable oil. And now we're gonna add our meatballs. I squeezed all these on my pan. You can cook these in 1 batch, 2 batches, whatever fits on your pan. Once they start to brown on the bottom, and in my case, the ones in the middle brown quickest, we're gonna start flipping them. The ones around the edges may need a little bit longer to cook. Now we're just waiting for them to fully cook through, and then we're gonna put them on a plate and set them aside. If you're checking with the meat thermometer, I like to make sure they reach at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit for ground lamb. We're trying one. A perfect savory bite. You can definitely eat these just on their own. They're really good, but we do also like to eat them in pitas or in flatbreads, kind of a little bit Greek or Mediterranean inspired. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you try to make lamb meatballs this year. Let us know if you do in the comments, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye.